Okay, no problem. Okay, good afternoon and welcome to West Texas A&M University's 14th seminar. Since 1993, this is our 14th or 15th seminar. I do apologize, some of you may have to stand, but we have a somewhat limited space here. Before I introduce my speakers, our speakers, and before I invite Dr. Colley to introduce the speakers, I want to say a few things about this seminar and some of the people who have been helping us in this seminar. As I said before, since 1993, this is our 14th seminar. We have invited consul generals from Houston. We have covered many timely topics, and we have involved our business community from Amarillo. And basically, today's seminar is sponsored by the T. Boone Pickens College of Business, of course, West Texas A&M University. But there are some other organizations which have been helping us in this seminar. Phi Beta Delta Honor Society for International Scholars. We have a chapter on campus. It has about 120 chapters nationwide. It's an honor society. SIFE, Students in Free Enterprise, and some of the SIFE people are here. Can you please raise your hand? We would like to recognize you. Students in Free Enterprise, this is one of the award-winning chapters. It's part of the College of Business. And then we have presidents, ambassadors, J.B. Horton, and Student Affairs. They have sent these people, and you can recognize them. They have WT color jackets. They have been extremely helpful in the last 5 years. As I said before, I introduce to you Dr. John Colley, Dean T. Boone Pickens College of Business. I just want to say a few things about the role of electronic commerce, online marketing, the World Wide Web, internet-related activities. You must have noticed that in the last 5 years, the whole world is changing. This is, I would say, the fastest or one of the fastest activities in this country. World Wide Web, electronic commerce. According to one data, it's going to be a $300 billion industry by the year 2005. Last year, it was a pretty big activity. Academic world is also part of e-commerce, online activities, World Wide Web. And as I said, $300 billion industry, and some of the companies which have been created by this industry, Yahoo, Microsoft, Amazon.com, and some of these people, if you can remember when you watch the television, Microsoft, Bill Gates, Yahoo, Jerry Bezos, Jerry Yang from all these Amazon.com. So basically, there is a lot of activities going on. Now, since this industry is new, it's only about 6-7 years old. There are a lot of books written, and I just want to show you very briefly some of the new titles coming out in the market. Blueprint in the Digital Economy, it's a recent book. The Death of Distance, of course, you don't really need a distance in World Wide Web. Another book published a few months ago, Connectivity. And one of my favorite, and that goes to San Jose, California, Accidental Empires. And I want to read the title, How the Boys of Silicon Valley Made Their Millions, Battled Foreign Competition, and Still Can't Get a Date. And this was published in 1992, one of the best books. Yesterday, Business Week covered America Online, which got Netscape. It's part of e-commerce. This is Jerry Yang from Yahoo. His net worth is $1 million. Yesterday I received Time magazine, and they rated Bill Gates as one of the top 100 geniuses in the last 100 years. And then this is our Silicon Valley, all the big guys from Silicon Valley. And we can talk about for hours, but before I waste any other time, at this time I would like to invite Dr. John Colley to introduce our speakers. John? Comment for Mark. You made a very interesting comment about some of the companies like Amazon.com, Jerry Yang's Yahoo. Is it a bubble? I mean, if you have a stock in those companies and you are really enjoying your, all the fortunes in Bahamas or Caribbean, I mean, do we wait for a big drop someday?
Well, this is not the course in investment strategy, but one one has to say that if there is no real foundation to, the fundamentals aren't there to support the PEs, the price earning ratios of these stocks, and these stocks' price is being pushed up based upon expectation, and if expectation isn't met, the capital markets are very, very efficient. And what will happen is the capital will move to where there can be a true return. And that, how long that's going to take, I don't know. If it were a more commodity type of stock that we were dealing with, it wouldn't go on as long as it has gone on, because those markets are very, very efficient in the movement of capital. So I don't know how much longer the investing public, if you will, is willing to ride without seeing a return, particularly when there are other alternatives where return is real.
Okay. One question to Kent. Can you tell us more about the difference between when we get internet connection from you or from AOL, and if we can get it from cable? Because some people say cable is faster than the regular internet providers.
There are a number of ways that you can get your connection. I think in looking from a consumer standpoint, the cable modem is an attractive option. It is fast, it's more expensive than a dial-up connection, and there are a couple of issues around cable modem that longer term remain to be seen what the impact will be. Cable modem is a shared resource. In other words, if you have bandwidth that's 1.5 megabits of capacity, which is about the equivalent of the T1 today on a cable modem, that is shared amongst however many people in that sector have access to the cable modem. So as more and more people get access through it, your piece of that bandwidth shrinks and gets smaller and smaller and smaller. If a number of people are doing heavy downloads on that, it's a total shared resource. So if they're using 1.2 megabits of that capacity, everybody else gets the 0.3 that's left over. So there are some security issues around it being a shared resource that are not there in a dedicated connection or in a phone connection. So there are some pluses and some minuses. From a business standpoint that are mission critical things, I don't think that that's a very valid method long term. I think you need the security that you have through a dedicated connection. You need the symmetrical bandwidth that you get through a dedicated connection rather than a shared connection. So there are positives for some usages, and I think there are negatives for some usages.
So remember our net in future. Before we conclude, on behalf of Pickens College of Business, we would like to give these two speakers a small token of our appreciation. This is paid by Dr. John Cooley. He had to leave, he had another meeting. This is for Mark Solacey. It's a small paperweight. It has our university old main picture behind. And we thank you for your help and time. And we have the same thing for Kent Thornton, but I would like Keith Brown, our Executive Director, Alumni Relations, to present this. I want you to know that Kent was our student, so I think it's appropriate if Keith presents it, because we need Kent in future here. Before we conclude, I want to thank my crew, Faisal, Ali, D. Arno, the cameraman, Hasnat, SIFE people, Phi Beta Delta Honor Society, presidents, ambassadors. This kind of seminar is a collection of all the activities and a lot of help, and we do appreciate. And one thing I have said again and again in my classes, and if you took my classes, I think you may remember this, and I strongly argue that because of the internet, because of the World Wide Web, I believe knowledge is no longer controlled by few people, few companies, few institutions. Knowledge is available on the internet, on the World Wide Web, and because of this, I've increased my productivity by 1,000,000%, and I think you must have done the same. And down the road, we are looking at a very big, huge, it's like a big space, Star Trek. You can go anywhere in the world, in the space. And internet, I think I also make a same analogy. Internet will be the name of the game in future, and WT is also capitalizing on that. Thank you for your help and participation, and thank you for your speakers, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.